We have a couple of things to cover today, and our presenters will be Jason McMurray, who is our VP of Sales, and Randir Vieira, VP for Product and Marketing. Here's our agenda. We'll have our usual recap of recent feature enhancements for those of you who may have missed it, and that'll be done by Jason. Then we'll talk about the enhancements that we will be making to the trainer homepage, and I'll walk through some of the tasks that we aimed to make simpler and do a demo on our own portal so you can see what it looks like. And then we'll talk a little bit about what's coming up next, and then we'll take questions. So today might be a shorter webinar than we usually have, but we look forward to your questions and comments. All right, Jason.
So I'll give you a quick run through on all the stuff that we've been working on recently. In case you've missed that, as always, all of our webinars are available after the fact, and we'll send this out via email, so you can always refresh your memory if you'd like to. And then the other thing I want to mention real quickly is on the right-hand side of the GoToWebinar, there's a box in there where you can ask questions, and we will answer all those questions before we leave. So if you have any questions, not even just about these items that we're talking about, but anything about Mindflash, we'd be happy to field that before we take off. So you can enter those at any point, and we'll address them at the end. In terms of stuff that we've done recently, a quick recap here. First of all, for replacing content within your course, we have made it so that you can actually replace the content without shuffling the order of the content. So if you go in and you delete a file out, then your content as it's laid out in your course would shuffle around a little bit. For example, quizzes would go to where that file was previously. If you use the replace function, it'll just swap out the file that you're changing. So as an example, if you have a PowerPoint with a couple of quizzes in the middle of it, and you needed to update that PowerPoint with maybe some changes to the content or the text or images or something like that, if you go into the system, and this is available both on the Manage and the Arrange tab within a course, you'll see the little replace icon, the two arrows there. If you click on that and upload the file that you want to replace, it will maintain the order of those quizzes within the file or within the PowerPoint, and just move the or put the new pages in where the old ones were previously. Two additional features that you see here. First of all, usernames for trainees without email addresses. For a long time, it was required that everyone in Mindflash have an email address. That was the unique identifier when they logged in. It's now possible to make it so that they can have an actual username. That is a feature that's available on the Advanced and the Pro tier. So if your trainees, very common scenario that we hear is either manufacturing floor or in retail. They may not have company email addresses. If you enable this feature, you can create usernames for them so that they don't have to use an email address to gain access. For invoicing the annual payment, something we introduced earlier this year, those are options that are available on our Advanced and Pro tier. If it is something that you're interested, if you want to receive an invoice, it's easier for your company rather than paying with credit card, we do offer that on our annual terms. And we also offer annuals for anyone on those tiers. Those are offered at a 10% discount. So if you are interested in getting a discount on an annual agreement, and you're looking at or on one of those tiers, let us know, and we would gladly accommodate that and get you up and running with those. Unlimited training plan, again, something we released a couple of months ago. This does offer you the ability to, for one flat rate, have as many trainees on the system as possible. This is really popular with people that have an unknown quantity of people. So maybe you're training customers and you're in a high volume business. This is a great option for you. In particular, this is great for people that kind of don't know what their ceiling is. It gives you a maximum amount that you'll be paying, and there's no risk of being dinged if your courses are wildly successful. So again, if this is something that's of interest to you, this is offered as an annual agreement. And you can just let us know. You can either email me directly or sales@mindflash.com, and we can get you going with that. Custom domains was released, I think, a month ago, and that allows you to have a subdomain on your own domain for your training courses. So rather than using Mindflash URL or yourcompany.mindflash.com, you can actually make it training.yourcompany.com, and that's available on the Pro tier. So if you are interested in doing that and really branding your account, that is an option. Those changes that you make also go into all of the invitations and any links that are sent out. So it really is represented as your domain. Single sign-on. This is something we've had a lot of requests for, and we're happy to be able to provide. We are listed with Okta in their directory, so if your company is an Okta user, this is a very easy way to do it, and would probably be preferable for almost everyone. So if you are either an existing user of theirs or you have interest in it, just let us know. We can talk about how that works. The way we've done it is a SAML single sign-on. That would also allow you to do a single sign-on from tools like Salesforce or any CRM. I'm sure you could support that in NetSuite if you were using that. A lot of different options there. You can also do custom single sign-on. So if you have a website or a web portal that people go to access your product or a customer portal or something, you could single sign-on in from there. That effectively, for those that don't know what single sign-on is, that allows them to use their credentials from whatever website or Salesforce or whatever to log into Mindflash. So you can put a button there that says, for example, log in with Salesforce, and they click that button and it logs them in using their Salesforce credentials. They don't have to remember another set of username and passwords to get into the system. It'll also allow just a one-click access from a website or something like that if they're already logged in. Say, click here to take the course. It would pass them straight into a Mindflash course. And in so doing, can also pass things like group membership, a series they're supposed to be in, some attributes about the user themselves, some custom fields. So really useful if you're trying to make a seamless transition from a website or a piece of software into Mindflash. The other thing that Okta affords is the ability to do Active Directory or use Active Directory as your authentication tool. So if your company is an Active Directory user, if you're not using Okta, that would allow you to use Active Directory to manage access to Mindflash. So those are just some of the highlights. As most of you know, we release new features almost every single month and do monthly webinars to kind of go over that. But these are some of the highlights that we've got over the last 5 or 6 months. So on to the new stuff for this release cycle. And Randir is going to take that.
All right. So the homepage is where we have a lot of you starting your Mindflash journey. There are several folks who who land up on this page every day or even several times a day as your role demands. So we spent a lot of time talking to heavy users, light users, etc., and trying to see how we could make this page work better for you. And so the core goal that we tried to address is to reduce the number of clicks in a typical workflow that often starts on this homepage. So I'll start with a couple of the tasks, the most common tasks that people had. And starting with, I want to filter my courses or series. So I want to see just a particular course, or I want to see a particular series. And some of you are naming your courses or series with a particular prefix, and you can now just use that prefix and find people as well. So similarly, you can use a filter, or you can do a search, and you can search by course or series or even a trainer and see just those courses. And we'll look at this live demo in a moment. We'll also talk about how to sort our courses, and this is especially useful when you have lots of courses. I know a few of you have hundreds of courses, and so the list view is a popular way to sort by any of the column headers. A lot of times, people are going into courses and series to get a quick overview of a particular course. And so we try to bring a bunch of that functionality to this homepage itself so that you can get some of that key information right on the home page without having to go into the course or series. And especially for those of you who manage multiple courses or series, this we hope will reduce the number of clicks in your workflow. And once you get that overview, you may want to get more details. For example, if you see a bunch of trainees who are in an in-progress state and you want to see who those people are, we've made it easier to go from that overview down to the specifics of who exactly are the folks in that in-progress state. So I'm going to switch over to so this is our portal, and we have a bunch of courses here, series, etc. So one of the things we've tried to do here is to streamline, and it starts with all your series or courses, but allows you to very quickly switch between series and courses so that you can filter. And then once you go into a course, you can see all your courses, or you can see just those in a draft state, which is helpful when you're trying to find a particular course that you're working on that you haven't activated yet, or you want to look at just your active courses, or you want to look at archived courses. And once you're in a particular course, you can, I'll just go back here. Once you're in a particular course, you can get more details on this. Tap on this course, for instance, and usually in your current home page, when you tap on a tile, when you click on a tile, you go directly into the course. Now we've moved that functionality into this little arrow, this icon at the top. So if I click on that, I will go directly into the course just like you do today. However, if I click on the tile, it opens up this right rail. And this right rail gives me a quick snapshot of what's in the course. So I see the first few slides. I see whether it's active or not. I see the number of slides, whether it has a quiz, how many quizzes, and whether it has a survey. I can see the trainer on the account, and I can see the total number of trainees and the state that those trainees are in. If I click on Manage, I will go directly into the Manage part of the course. And if I click on this In Progress, I will go directly to that course, and it shows me who those 4 people are who are in the In Progress state. I can also switch the view, and this was the list view that we talked about, and I can now search by name or type or last modified or name or any of the column headers, and if you tap again, it will do a reverse sort. So especially for folks who have large numbers of courses, this is helpful. The search we talked about, so if I have a course called Rally, and if I just type the word Rally, it shows me all the courses or series that have that contain that word. So this is useful to zero in on a particular course. I can also look by trainer name, and now I see all the courses that Terrence has created here. Down here is a sort. So even if you're in this tile view, you can do a sort based on trainer name or the course name or the last modified, and the last modified is our default. What's handy down here is if you click on a particular course or a series, and it is contained, if the course is also a member of a series, it will show you right here which series contains this course. And similarly, if I look at a series, it will show me the courses that are part of that series. And very often you have to go into the course or into the series to find that information. So now we're bubbling that up, and when you click on this particular course, it will give you details about that course, and now you can either click on Go to Course or on this little shortcut here to go directly into the course. What you'll also see when we start rolling this out is we're going to have a lot more contextual tips in here, which will be especially useful for new users and new administrators on your account to get them the right tips at the right time. So as an example, as you start building up the number of courses, we'll tell you about these different views that might be useful when you have lots of courses. or when you open up the right rail for the first time, we'll tell you about the different functionality in the right rail. So look for those tips, and as usual, if you have any feedback, especially on this page, like all pages on Mindflash, we have this little area at the bottom where we look for your feedback. This is a form that goes to our product team, and we look at this feedback every day, so make sure that you use it. But if you need any customer service or you need customer care for a particular issue with your account, please continue to use the help links that send your email and your request to our customer care team. I'm going to cover a little bit of stuff since we're here on what's coming next. So what we're working on, and which should be out in the next 4 to 6 weeks, is the additional functionality in this right rail. So as an example, if you have people who are in progress state and we know that they haven't completed it, then we might want to remind them. And so we're going to have a remind link right here that allows you to remind them without having to go into this page. So that we think will reduce the number of clicks in your workflow even further. So that's some of the stuff that is coming up, but let me cover some of the other things that we are working on. The one-click functionality is the stuff I just talked about to make it easier to take action on people in particular states. The trainee course player in HTML5. This is something that we've been working on for the last couple of months, and is a big project, but we also know that it will be highly beneficial for you. Right now, we do work in a Flash environment on the trainee side, which means that it works on any web browser on your computer. We also have an iPad application that works on the iPads. Allowing it to work in HTML5 will enable trainees to take these courses on all devices, even if they don't have Flash. And this is going to be especially popular on mobile devices like tablets and even phones. And another enhancement that we're working on is our public course and series page. We currently have the ability to make a link public to a particular course or series, and then anyone who has that link can sign up for that course or series. And some of the concerns from customers like you has been, well, if that link gets truly public, like somebody posts it on Twitter or something, we might have random people taking our courses, which we don't like because it has proprietary information, or we are concerned about hitting our trainee limits because people that we don't know are signing up to take this course. So we're going to leave that option available because we know that a lot of you use it and like it the way it is, but we are also going to give you the option to restrict it only to people who are already in your portal. So as an example, if you upload a list of several hundred people through Excel or even thousands of people either through Excel or your API, and they're in the Mindflash system, you don't have to invite them to a specific course or series. You can now make this link available through Yammer or through your intranet or through email, and then anyone who clicks on that link will be asked to log in. They will not be allowed to register. They will be allowed to log in, and they need to be someone who you have already put into the system. So it gives you the ease of emailing that link or putting that link out in whatever manner you are comfortable with, but still restricting the ability to take the courses only to people who you have put into the system. So it's a nice hybrid between the two. So look for that feature coming soon. So I think that is all that we had planned for today. Jason, anything else? Otherwise, we can move to questions.
No, I don't think we do have anything else to cover in that regard. So if anyone does have any questions, you can just enter them in the question box, and we'd be happy to field those now. Thus far, we don't have any questions, so we will stay on for another minute or so. If anyone does have questions, either about those features or anything else that we have going on, we'd be happy to answer them. But if that's not the case and we don't have any questions coming in, then we will probably call it a day.
We are looking for people to try out this new trainer homepage. So if you are eager to get some of this new functionality, just put your email address in the chat box, and we will enable it for your account. and look forward to getting your feedback on this new trainer HTML homepage.
Great. Well, I think that will probably do it for us today. As usual, we will email out this link to everyone who registered, so you'll have access to it. It'll probably be later this afternoon or tomorrow before that actually comes out, but you will have access to it. You can go back and see. We have a ton of questions coming in all of a sudden, so let me look through those real quickly. Yeah, so we have a question asking if the change to HTML5 player for trainees will mean that they can take the courses on Android devices. That will allow that to happen. So if you have a workforce that has Android tablets or Android phones, when we make that switch and we release those changes, that will make it so that they can go in and take that. It basically makes it so that any web browser will be able to play Mindflash courses just like they can when they're taking it online. So that's a big overhaul for us and has been a lot of our efforts over the last few months. And we're probably about 6 weeks away from that being released. But we'll definitely make a big deal about that when that's released because we know that there are a lot of people that are waiting for that. So we would like to have a page for trainees whereby courses in our library are accessible to take without being invited. Do you have this in the works? This actually is something that we are working on. I don't have definitive release plans at this point. This is, though it may seem very easy, this is actually a very complicated and complex set of rules that dictate how people can get access and how they can't. We are actively talking to people that need this feature to make sure we understand all the requirements and we accommodate all of those. So I have your name here and we have your contact info. I will have someone reach out to you and we will incorporate your thoughts into that. We're definitely getting close and this is something that we're planning on starting work on in the very near future. But we're probably a few months out from this being released.
Yeah, in the meanwhile, Denise, a workaround or an option that people have used now is to put courses into a series, make the series non-enforced, the order not enforced, and create a public link to that series, and then make that link available so that people can click on that link, see all the courses that are available there, and they can take whatever course they're interested in. So you can use that in the meanwhile. But we will reach out to you and get your thoughts on some of the stuff we're working on and see if that will work for you.
Another question, will there be a way to save a history for a user's performance on one course? So our reporting always has all the history that the trainee has had with the course. So as long as you don't, well, actually, even if you archive the trainee, you can still gain access to it. So you should be able to see a complete history of all of your trainees. In our advanced reporting, you can actually go in and do reporting on a trainee basis, so you can see their history across multiple courses. So what we refer to as a transcript, which is a pretty cool feature that's available in our advanced reporting. You can go in and say, I want to see all the courses that Laura's taken, and I'll show you complete history of all of her courses. And you know, it's, as all of our reports is printable either via PDF or exportable to Excel. Any thoughts on additional question types for quizzes, including open response options? Yeah. So okay, Randy wants this one.
Hey, yeah. So we are working on a bunch of additional quiz types. The open response is something that we don't have a definitive answer on, and it's only because the core goal of Mindflash is to make sure that we do a bunch of this scoring in an automated and immediate fashion. So we want to get the feedback to the trainee immediately. So open response obviously has a lot more subjectivity to it, as it should. So we're trying to figure out how to meet both needs of letting the trainee explain and express more complicated concepts than simple true, false, or multiple choice, while still giving them the feedback. So we'd love to chat with you, Paul, and share some thoughts as we look at enhancing our quiz capabilities.
We have two questions that I think are clarifications on an answer that I gave previously. Are you working on an option to provide reports on the number of attempts if a trainee fails a course? So in that scenario, someone would take a course, fail it, click the retry button, take it a second time. The other possibility there would be to allow people to retake individual quizzes within a course. So if they fail a specific quiz, go back and say, I want to take this quiz again. That is something that we are toying with. To be completely honest with you, it's not something that we're planning on putting in place in any short time frame. It's something we'll continue to review. That actually has some pretty big implications on how we work the system and our reporting, so that's a big challenge for us from a reporting standpoint, really. But it's something that we'll continue to look at, but short answer to your question is it's not something we're going to put in place in the near term. I believe that's it for questions so far, so if anyone has a last question, certainly enter it in now, but if not, like I said, we will be sending this webinar out to people, a video of it, in the next day or so. And so you can look for the email from us and certainly replay it as need be. We send all of our webinars out that way, so even if you can't attend in the future, it's always a good idea to register because we'll send it to all those that register. So feel free to register for any webinars we have coming up, and we will send you the transcript. There's one other question here. Let me go quick. When you use series, any customization overrides the individual course customizations. Can this be addressed? I'm not sure I understand what that question is. You?
I'm guessing this is for things like quiz scores, passing requirements, etc.
Certificates and small flag.
Yeah, so Denise, maybe we can chat with you offline to just understand the question a little bit more. We will be available on chat on mindflash.com. So if you want to follow up with us there, we can certainly help answer this.
Another question came in regarding the open-ended questions. Again, it's something that we're considering. This has major ramifications for how Mindflash courses work because as it stands now, when someone's done with the course, they're done. There's no waiting for a trainer to go in and score them. And so everything is built around that concept. So that fundamentally changes kind of what a Mindflash course is. So like we said, it's something we're considering, but this is a very, very big change to Mindflash if we decide to go in that direction. So it's something we're considering, carefully, and we have to figure out whether or not we can make that work for everyone. We definitely understand that it's something that people want, or certainly some people want. One thing to consider is that we do have open-ended questions in our survey, and it's possible to make surveys required. So if you need to know the answers, it won't necessarily play into the score that they get in the course, but if you need them to answer something with free text that you can then address with them directly or whatever, that's always an option, and it can be a requirement for completing the course. So you can add that survey at the end, require those questions, and then they can answer those before they finish. Okay. I believe that is it for today, and we will send this out, like I said, and look for our next webinar, I think, in about a month's time. So as usual, we publicize those, and everyone can sign up in advance. So thanks for joining today, and we will talk to you soon.
Okay, and if you're interested in getting the new trainer homepage, just leave your email address, and we'll enable it for your account. Thank you.
The organizer has ended the session, and this call will be disconnected. Goodbye.